I've started off with a few things here. I've got my egg, I've got rocks, trees, all this. Now, as far as initializing, again, the whole idea here, the rocks aren't really going to move and stuff, but I'm still going to put this. This is important. So when flag is clicked, this go to means that if for some reason the rock ended up moving, okay, when I restart it, the rock will go back to the same place. So that is huge. I have it for the tree. I do not have it for the egg. And you know what? There's an easy way. Well, actually, I'm not really going to do it. But anyway, I would say there's an easy way to duplicate something. But so just if I wanted to start with the egg, I don't know where the egg is going to start, but why not start it right there? So you figure out where it's going to go. Okay, I'm going to put the egg right there. And then you say motion and go to. So that way it will always start there. The egg is going to be moving around. I'm doing kind of an Easter thing. So let's say the egg ends up over there behind the rock. It will be eventually behind things. That's a whole nother deal. But then when I restart it, boom, it's always going to be right there. Now, I also wanted a third object, and I was going to use a bush. Now, when I search, there's no bush in this, so I did a little search. Now, first of all, when I did Bush here, yes, I'm getting like George Bush and stuff, so I could be more specific there. But here's another thing I'm going to put is PNG, ping, stands for a ping file. Now, that's going to give me probably these ones. Now, here's the trick. For a ping file, I want the checkerboard thing, but see how this one does have checkerboard? That's actually not going to be the right ping file. So I'm going to click on one of these that I like. This one seems pretty good. And what I want is the checkerboard to come up here. And it is not coming up there, so I'm not going to use that one. Sometimes it's tricky to find the ping file. There's another one there. Okay, checkerboard came up there. So that one is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click on it, and I'm going to do Save Image As. Not link, Save Image As. So it's going to download it to my computer. And now, I don't know if you guys get this. See how it says JFIF here? That's bad. If you ever get JFIF, first of all, since it was a ping, I want to make sure it's still a ping. But the JFIF never works for anything, it seems, and it's just a problem. I don't know if you'll get that. But in any case, so I'm going to change that JFIF to a PNG, and that should hopefully make it work. In fact, let's find out. Now, usually you can't necessarily do this, but with the JFIFs, it tends to work. Replace it, yes. So the name didn't really matter. Now let's see if I did that right. So I go back to my project, and I go to this, and up here is the upload. So I already downloaded it. Now I'm going to upload it. You would have to go to your file there, and I'm hoping this will work. Well, we'll see. Open, and it totally did not work. So the ping issue is kind of a problem there. But you kind of get the idea. In fact, I'm going to pause this video and see if I can find a better one. I'm not going to make you wait. All right, so I did find a good one, but I do want to kind of show you this too. If you cannot find a PNG file, there are kind of ways you can fix it. So this is the old sprite. I can go to costumes, and first of all, I like to zoom in. And really what you can do is, and it's not necessarily easy, but if I get my eraser here, I could go through and I could erase any of that white stuff. Now, again, it's going to be tricky, and the more time you take and the more accurate you are, the better. But I could kind of get this done. So sometimes you could do this. As far as now, I'm just kind of going around, and you can see how it cut off that part, and you could do an okay job, especially for something like a bush that's kind of rounded anyway. So just the fact is, yeah, you can do some cool things in this, and I'll show you some other things. Now, I did find a better one, so I'm just going to delete this, and here's my new one. And by the way, I hid it here. I'm going to make it show up now. So first of all, it's pretty big. I'm going to mess with the sizes. Now, there's a couple ways you can mess with the sizes. You could just change it here. It's on 100%. If I go 50%, That's probably a pretty good size. Basically, I'm going to want it to be able to hide the egg is kind of, it's kind of the idea, although the egg doesn't necessarily have to hide. But so basically I've got the bush, I've got the rock, I've got all that. So let's move on. Get back to my coding. And for, let's say, the tree, here's another way you can resize something. Here's the tree. I could go to costumes, and not costumes, what am I saying? I go to looks, and in here we have change size by and set size to. If you wanted to grow, this would be good. If you wanted to just set it to a new size, which is a good thing for initialization, you can do that. Now, 100% is what it's at. So I want a little bit bigger tree. So I'm going to say 130%. And I click on this and boom, it's bigger. I like it. So I like that. Now, I did want the egg to kind of be able to hide behind things. Now, the problem is I'd made the rock after the egg, I think. So let's see. If I want the egg to be able to move and get behind something, there are some things you can do. If I want basically the rock to always be in the front, here's the rock's coding. And in the looks, I'm going to go down here to go forward. Actually, there's go forward. That's not what I want. I want go front. So basically, if I want that basically to be in front of everything, I can basically say go to front layer. And that would actually do it, so that now that didn't seem to really work. Let's see, and I'm not sure why. It's probably because I moved that rather than the other one. Hopefully that will work. What I could also do with the egg is say go to back layer so that it's always behind stuff. Okay, I might have to do that later. As far as in the programming, that might be a problem because it's kind of whatever I move goes on top of things. So, hey, stuff happens. That's why we try this. But that is a good thing. Now, there are also show and hide things here. That will be very important to start using that. Now, let's get some stuff going. I figured it's kind of Easter coming up eventually here. So I'm going to do a little egg hunt. So here's the egg. Now, if I go to costumes, there were some other costumes. I made a purple egg, so I could make the egg purple. And I just want to show you, easy way to make the egg different colors is first, I did make the purple one, but if I do a right click and duplicate it, now it gives me another purple egg, but I want it to be a new color. So all I'm going to do is change my fill here. So let's make it a nice reddish egg. So choose your color, choose your fill, and then boom, you've got that. Now they have kind of this little extra color in there, so I'm just going to do a little lighter one and fill that. So you kind of, whoops, fill that. Yeah, there we go. So I kind of get that. I got a red egg. So real simple. You could do that with a bunch of them. So I'm going to do this real quick, and then I'll come back. All right, so now I have a bunch of different colored eggs, and I don't know exactly why I did all that, but I will be using it at some point. So I've got my little egg here. Now let's get a little conversation. So again, you kind of think of a little skit of some sort. So let me get a new sprite, and I figure there are some like little chick there, little chicken type thing. And yeah, oh wait, there's an Easter bunny. How about that? Okay, so let's use ourselves a little Easter bunny. Now I'll make him a little bit bigger. All right, and actually I want a little bit bigger. Okay, we'll go with that. Now, initializing. Come on, people, do this. So always start with, boom, throw that out there. And if I want him starting right there, then I'm going to have him, let's see, I'm right there. I put in the go to, and again, those are the coordinates. That's where he is. So perfect. He is there. And now let's have him say something. So go to looks, and I could actually do the text-to-speech. Remember that from the other video, hopefully. Great if you haven't seen these extensions. They're fun, text-to-speech, but I'm not actually going to use that for this one. So he is going to say, it's Easter time. And that's me for 2 seconds. So the egg is going to respond. And now here's well, first he's going to respond. He's going to say, so what? Actually, he's going to say, what is Easter? Okay, now, if I do it right now, they're both going to talk at the same time. Oh, and my egg is also covered, so that's a whole nother deal. So we've got a couple issues there. You deal with the issues. So first of all, I want my egg to start more like here. And let's get the bush there, so they're in different places. So if I go to my egg here, now my go-to is obviously wrong, so I want him to start at this place, not this place. So let's do that. And the bush, I never initialized anyway, so let's just make sure I have that in the right place. Go to and events. Okay, now we're good. Now it should be boom. But again, they're both talking at the same time. And actually, you saw that the thing was behind there. That's not good. So in fact, I am going to say at the beginning, I want him at the front layer so that we can see his words. All right, so he's going to say, what is Easter? But we want that to be timed right. So there are a couple ways to do it, but the simple way is in control, there's a wait block. Love this wait block. You're going to need to use that. And he's going to wait 2 seconds because now, first, he'll say it's Easter time. And then that'll be done. What is Easter? Okay, so we have a little thing going here. All right, so now I'm going to go back to the rabbit, Mr. Easter Bunny. And he's going to say, it's a holiday where I hide you. And now, again, we want this to be timed right, so I'm going to get that wait block. And the 2 seconds is pretty solid as far as the deal, so he's going to wait as the egg responds, and then he's going to say his deal. And then the egg is going to also wait 2 seconds. Well, again, you have a little conversation here. And he's going to say, that's crazy. And we're going to finish this conversation. Obviously, you could get into a whole deal, but you probably don't want to sit here watching me do this back and forth. But again, we wait, and then we throw this in there. And he's going to say, that's the dealio. So here, we go. All right, so if I run it right now, and you should run it every once in a while, it's Easter time. What is Easter? Look at that, it's working. Hide me, that's crazy. That's the dealio, so here we go. All right, so now I'm doing this the simple way, but I'm going to have the rabbit move to the egg. And so again, this is my recommendation for moving. If I say move so many steps, they will always move in a certain direction, and it will basically jump. Like if I did move 10 steps is not much, move 100 steps, the rabbit will basically, in fact, I can if you didn't know, you can double click on things to make it happen. So watch the rabbit go when I double click on this. Okay, actually did it twice. So yeah, it kind of looks like he's hopping, which might be good, and you could get things like that. In fact, if I look at his costumes, he does have that little movement thing, which might be kind of cool to use. In fact, let's give it a shot. Why not? But well, actually, I'm just going to show you the easy way. So in any case, he's just going to jump, and that's not, I don't like that necessarily. So I like, instead of that, I like glide. So I would take the rabbit, and in fact, we could even do this way. So we'll do a little of each. So I'm going to have him go to here, and I am going to have him use his other costume here. So he's going to, after he says his stuff, he's going to change to this costume. So to get something to change to a new costume, we'll say switch costume to hair B. And I'm going to have him, in fact, I'm going to have him wait. Sometimes those wait blocks are important because I don't want him doing this while he's talking. So we're going to have him wait. He's going to switch costumes, and he's still not moving yet. So notice I moved him from one place to the next. In fact, again, this is what you got to go through. I'm going to change this so he starts more here. And you can delete a block, by the way. If you do a right click, you can delete a single block. So anyway, he's going to go from there to here. And because he kind of gets that little change. Now, switch costume to hair B. So he will look different. In fact, he'll look like this. But he's still not moving yet. So I need him to move. Here, finally, sorry, I'm going to have him glide. So he's going to glide 1 second to this position. Now, 1 second's kind of long for that, so I'm going to change it to 0.5 seconds. He's going to go there. And then he's going to end up right next to, I'm going to have him glide again. I'm going to change his costume because I want him to end right next to the egg. And going back to the coding, I'm going to have him glide again. 1 second to, actually I'm going to do 0.5 seconds again. To this position. So basically you move him, you put in a glide. You move him, you put in a glide. Now, I do want him to end up looking like this, so I'm going to have him to switch back to the other costume, which was hair A. All right, so if I do want to just see that last part, there is kind of a trick, which would be kind of like this. So he would be somewhere over here, and if I double click, I pulled this out, so if I double click on this, it should run the whole thing. Oh, single click, sorry. Okay, so kind of will look like this. Let me click again. That's not bad. Okay, I kind of like that. So it'll look basically like that. Now, again, because I initialize it, as soon as I start, he will start back there. Okay, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Now, after that happens, now that takes 1 second and another second here. Then I want the egg to move. So that means I have to do that wait block, and I'm going to wait 2 seconds. And then basically I'm going to have the egg go zipping around. Now, I could, once again, I could move the egg to different places. But here's another way that you can basically do it. There is a glide 1 second to random position. Now, random actually works pretty well. And if I just do that, it's going to take 1 second to go there. Now, I want him to go a little faster. If you want something to go faster, make that smaller. So 0.5. Now, right now, he's just going to choose a random position somewhere on the screen, and he's going to zip to it. Now, what I want to do to make it even cooler is this. In the control, here's a new block for you. There's a repeat block. And I'm going to put in a repeat for 10 times. He's going to do that gliding. So basically, again, just to see that, this is what he's going to do. Okay. So he's going to kind of zip around. Now, if I want to go even faster, make it even smaller. I'm going to do 3. Okay, then I'm going to have him say, where should I hide? Okay, and we're going to have him zip around again after that. Now, here's another deal. If I just take this, actually, for the repeat loop, it'll work. If I just do a right click and duplicate, I can have him zip around again. Okay, so there he goes, boom, 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 and I'm going to have him zip around even faster this time. Why not? So basically, that part will look something like this. He'll zip around, he'll stop, he'll say, where should I hide? Okay, now, so first of all, I'm going to figure out the timing for this. So that's going to be a little crazy, but actually I'll show you something cool for that. Any case, now, at the end of this, I'm going to make it like he hid. So I'm going to use in looks, whoops, I am in looks. There's my hide. Now, here's the thing. Well, anyway, whenever you have something hide, you want to make sure that when you start it, it does show up. So whenever I put in a hide, if I want to make sure it shows up at the beginning, I just throw a show at the beginning. It can't hurt to have a show. So why not? So in any case, I'll have that. So he's going to basically disappear. So my idea is he's disappearing. And now Mr. Rabbit is going to say, where is the egg? And then now I'm going to use this thing where, actually, no, let's do a clicking thing. We'll do something a little different there. He's going to say, is it behind the tree, the bush, or the rock? And he's going to say, click on the place you think it is. All right, so that'll be good. It'll be hidden. Now we're going to use a little randomness here. Now, this will get a little tricky, but let's get a little tricky here. So for randomness, there is random in here, which is pick random. All right, so we could do this anywhere, as far as with really any of these, but I think I'm going to do it with the eggs coding. Now, this is going to be a little weird, as I said. So first of all, the pick random, you'll notice it's round, so I can't just put it out here. I can't connect it to anything. So I'm going to get a new one flag is click just to have things working. You have to have something connected to this, to one of these, to make it work. So now I'm going to have to use a variable here. Now for the variables, it gets a little tricky, but you make a variable. Now I'm going to call this variable hiding spot. And I always do it for all sprites. Now, hiding spots. So I'm going to set the hiding spot to, there's 3 places, right? Now, by the way, you'll notice it says hiding spot up here, which will kind of give things away in a second here. So I'll hide that later on. This right here is where I can hide it, but I'm going to be able to cheat, so I'm going to keep it up there. So there are 3 places. So I'm going to pick random, 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be totally random. It's going to choose one of 3 spots there. And basically the 3 spots are going to refer to the tree, the bush, and the rock. So, all right, so I'm going to go to the first one, the tree here. Now, there is a block that is when this sprite is clicked. So when that sprite is clicked, we're going to see if the egg is behind it. Now, again, the egg will be hidden, by the way, if this helps you see it. The egg, boom, now the egg's hidden. So imagine that the egg it's just hidden. Again, it's a computer trick, whatever. It's just not there. But when the sprite is clicked, we're going to see if it is there. Now, the tree is going to be spot number 1. So here's where it gets a little tricky, maybe. In the controls, we have an if-then. So when the sprite's clicked, if, now we're getting into operators. For if-then, we tend to need to get into either sensing or operators, and usually the operators because we have this equals. Okay, so basically we want to say if that hiding spot is 1. Okay, so the equals I'm going to say is 1, and the hiding spot, I'm going to go back to my variables here, and notice next to hiding spot, it's got this nice little round thing that says hiding spot. That is the variable. So if hiding spot equals 1, then basically that's when it's right. Now, here is how we're going to do this. In fact, now I thought of another little error, but in any case, we'll show that in just a second. So if hiding spot equals 1, now I'm going to use what's called a broadcast. Broadcasts are great for multiple things happening, to get one sprite to interact with another. Basically, I want the egg to do something if it's right. So basically, this is the if it's right thing. And so it says broadcast message 1. I'm going to change that message 1 to a new message, and we're just going to call it right. Okay, so if it is right, then something's going to happen. That's one option. The other thing that's an option is it's wrong. So there's a couple ways to do that. I could put in another if-then. So here's my control again. I could put in another if-then and say basically if hiding spot equals something else, then it's wrong. But I just thought of there's a much easier way. So there's also this if-then else. If-then else has one thing or the other happening. So I'm going to take this, put that in there. I'm going to take that and put it in there. And I'm going to get rid of this one because if it's not right, it has to be wrong. Yes, you figured that out. So I'm going to put in a new broadcast that's going to be wrong. Now, there's a reason I'm using right and wrong because this will help me for the other ones keep everything simple. Okay, so hiding spot, right or wrong. So basically, I want to do this with the other ones too, with the bush and with the rock, but just with different numbers. So here's a nice little shortcut. I'm going to take this coding right here, and I'm going to take it, I'm going to go to the rock, and make sure you're hovering right over the rock, the hand part, and I'm going to let go. And now I'm going to do it. Now, it doesn't delete it or anything, but I'm going to now take this and put it over the bush, because I want it in both of them, and I'm going to let go. Now, if I go to the rock, there we go. I have the same coding. Now, this wouldn't work the same because it shouldn't be hiding spot number 1. The rock is going to be 1, 2, 3. So if I'm just going to change this to if hiding spot equals 3, then it's going to say right, or it's going to be wrong if it's not 3. Again, it's when this sprite is now clicked. So I'm going to do the same thing with the bush. And it always drops it just right in the top of everything. But if hiding spot equals for the bush, 2. So now we have this broadcast. First of all, a broadcast is not going to say anything. Something broadcast is like a signal. So that signal is just going to be sent out. Now the signal has to get received by something. Right now, the broadcasts are worthless. So let's make them actually do something. So we're going to, just to finally get to an ending here, in the egg, because the egg is the one that I really want to do something. So in this egg, I'm going to scroll down here, and here is the other half of the broadcast. When I receive. So when I receive, you have new message or right or wrong. So if you receive right, meaning if the person clicked on the right one that has the egg, you'll get this message. The other one you'd get is the wrong one. So 2 options there. Now, here's what I'm going to have it do. If it is right, we are going to have it go to a new screen. So to a new screen means I need a new backdrop here. So here's my backdrops, and I'm going to click on the backdrops, and I'm going to make my own here. And so in any case, make my own here with the paint, and you know what? Let's make it a nice... Actually, you know what? I've got this nice blue sky one here, so let's just use this one. But I'm going to add to it. And there's a text here. And there's 2 ways that you can do text. I'm doing it... You could do it this way and basically write out something like, Happy Easter, which is kind of my goal here. But I'm going to do it another way that is going to be more difficult, but I think cooler. So, by the way, Control-Z, this does undo things, but I love Control-Z. You can also use their... Actually, you know what? You can use their lettering, but their lettering gets kind of tricky because you have to use it here. So, come to think of it, I'm going to do it the simple way. Yeah, sorry, I got your hopes up there. And actually, I'm going to say, you found the egg. Happy Easter. Okay, now I can highlight this, and I could make it bigger. Sorry, I selected it. You can make it bigger, move it around. I think we could still change its color, so that's kind of cool. You could change this font. Anyway, you kind of get the idea, and we're going to move on here. So we have that. Now, if you look over here, though, first of all, it's behind stuff, so that's not good. So I can deal with that. Now, here's another little issue. I changed my background, which is kind of a problem in my coding because I want to make sure that the background starts on the other one. So these are those kind of things that when I talk about initialization, you need to think about. So that means on one of these, it doesn't matter which one I do this on, but I want to put in looks, there is a switch backdrop. At the beginning, I want it to be on forest. So that's why I'm putting switch backdrop to forest. Then when I receive right, I want it to switch backdrop, no, not costume, switch backdrop to the other one, the blue sky. So it's going to change it to blue sky if I'm right. And then it will always start on the right one. In fact, you know what? Let's run this and see what it's doing so far, because I know there's going to be one error that I can think of here. So it did already choose a hiding spot, which is going to be the bush, but that's really not going to work quite yet anyway. So notice how the egg started moving before the rabbit started getting there. So it moves again. Now it should hide. Boom, it hid. Now it looks like it hid behind the tree. But if I click on that, it's really not going to do anything because I don't have anything coded to it. So the only one that should work and change the background is this one. And boom, it did change the background. So a lot of things going on. And you kind of have to go through this and figure out what's going on. So the one problem is that egg started moving too early because I didn't have a wait here. I could use a broadcast here as well, but I'm just going to use another wait. So let's see. This is actually where the wait needs to be longer. I don't know exactly how long, so I'm going to shoot for 5 seconds, and I'll watch it the next time I run it. But again, the background obviously has changed. There's a lot of stuff I still need to do. So when I receive write, one thing is I want everything else to hide. So the best way I've found to do that is another broadcast. So I'm going to do another broadcast, and this is going to be a new message, which is hide. Now, again, that won't do anything unless the other things have stuff with them. So for all of these, I'm going to have them hide when they receive that. So when I receive hide, it is going to hide. Now, who can think of one issue this is going to create? So if you're thinking, well, if we hide it there, then it won't show up at the beginning, you are correct. So if I have the hide, I better put in a show in my initializing right there. So the nice thing is, once again, that I can reuse this. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it into the rock because I want the rock to hide. And I'm going to put it into the bush because I want the bush to hide. And I'm even going to put it, well, let's have the hair stay there. We'll have it do something. And so he's going to still be around. And the other ones are hidden. So I do need to, once again, go to the rock and make sure I show it at the beginning. And go to the bush, make sure I show it at the beginning so that they will be there, but now they will actually hide when they receive hide. In fact, I could prove that by clicking on this, and that's what will happen. So far, it's good. So first of all, when he receives wrong, let's keep that real simple. So let me get everything back there just by kind of starting it. Anyway, when you receive wrong, actually, I'm not going to have him do anything. We'll make it so everybody's going to be a winner here because, you know, we're in that society. So in the hair, the hair has now, when I receive wrong, he is going to say, nope, try again. All right, so basically, if you choose the wrong one, he doesn't say, nope, try again. Like right now, it did choose hiding spot 3, so if I click on this, he should say, nope, try again. If I click on this, he should say, nope, try again. If I click on the right one, you found the Easter egg. Now, you have noticed probably that it's already doing it, and I could delay that with some other stuff, but it's still a good program for the basics here. Now, we need more to happen, though, when it is correct. So let me go back to the egg. And I am sorry, I'm kind of bouncing around, but this is kind of my coding. I do bounce around with stuff. I get one thing in mind to do this and one thing in mind to do this. So anyway, now, for this one, when you receive write, first of all, it's going to have this. So we're going to have, you found the Easter egg, happy Easter, we've got the rabbit, but let's have some stuff actually happen. When this does it. So let's have the egg actually do something. So here's one thing we can do. We can have it, I remember I made the egg a bunch of different colors here. Now, one thing I could do, and I just like, again, stuff just coming to my head here. If I wanted to, I could actually let the person choose the color of egg. Fairly simple. And actually, let me set it up and then I'll show you exactly what I mean for that, because why not? So let me pause it. Okay, so that was a little more tricky than I meant it to be, but here's basically what I did. I use this ask and wait block, which is in sensing, and what it does is at the beginning, it will ask, okay, obviously we have a problem there. let's see, what color do you want yeah, it says, what color do you want the egg to be? Unfortunately, it's hidden behind that, the rock there, so that's kind of a problem. So here's what we're going to do. I think I know the problem. The rock, I have that go to front layer, and it's doing that instead of and that one, honestly, I don't really need it anymore, so let's try it again. Okay, so it says, what color do you want the egg to be? Red, purple, green, red, or blue? Okay, I'll have to change that whole double red thing. But then you type it in. Now, if I go back to the egg here, you can see, here's the deal. With the ask and wait, it's different than just the looks thing as it puts this in here. But this answer here is whatever the person types in, and you can use that. So I said, basically, if the answer equals red. So if the person types in red, it will switch the costume to this. If the person types in purple, if the person types in green, all that other stuff, let me get rid of that. Green, red, or blue, and I didn't do, yellow is the one I forgot there. Red, yellow, or blue, and I don't know why I capitalized the other one, so let's do that one too. So anyway, so it should work still. So let's say I type in purple. Now, yeah, you will have to spell it right. That's a key for this. And even if I put in capitalization stuff, but I don't know if I put in space, if that would be an issue. So anyway, I'm going to hit enter, and boom, it changed to purple, and then it starts. Now, the other issue, so you can kind of see how that worked there. The other issue I had here is that the timing, I want to see if the timing of that egg is good. Okay, there we go. So that worked out pretty well. Except for there, I see another timing deal that the rabbit talks too early there. So, any case, let's see, for the talking early part, the where is the egg, so that's another problem there. So I'm going to need to put in another wait block. And so let's say switch costume. So that's where sometimes it's kind of tricky, like where do you put the stuff? So 5 seconds should be pretty good there. So, all right. So I think we got something going here. Go back to my egg here. And I want more to happen when it is right. So again, we have this, and the egg will be, well, actually the egg was hidden, right? So when it receives right, first of all, actually I don't care, he'll end up there anyway. So when it does receive right, I want the egg to show up. So let's go to looks and let's have it show up. The broadcast is going to hide the other things. So let's have it show up. And I want it to show up right in the middle. So I'm going to have it go boom right about there. I'm going to move the hair too. And that just means I'm just put in a go to. Pretty easy there. And let's have the hair when it's right. So we already have the when I receive wrong, and let's do a right also. So he's going to do stuff too when I serve right. Let's have the hair go here. You know what? Let's get them so they're both kind of cool in there. Okay. So again, got stuff going through my head here. So we're on the hair. We're going to have him go to this. All right, so the hair will go there, and the egg, okay, sorry, I have to keep going to this part. The egg will go to its new position here, so its egg's gonna go there. Now let's have him do something. So I'm at the egg, change colors. There's a lot of stuff you can have it do, and so that's what I'm gonna have it do. So let's go to looks, and the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have it grow. So I'm gonna have to change size by 10. And right now it'll just change, make it a little bit bigger. Now, again, if I have change size, I have to make sure that somewhere I had the size correct at the beginning. So my size is 100%, so nothing new there. But again, this is that initializing, very important. I'm going to set size at the beginning to 100%. All right, so change size by 10, but I want to see it grow. So that means I'm going to need that repeat loop. So here's a repeat loop. And it is going to grow, and I'm going to just do 10, let's do 20 for now, and it's going to grow. Now, let's have it do other stuff. So let's see, in the looks, I have that switch costume. Now, this will just switch it to a certain egg, but I have all these other costumes. Now, here's the thing. First of all, it has these costumes. I don't like these ones. I just wanted to change colors, so I'm going to get rid of these guys. All right, so now I have all the different colored eggs. And instead of saying egg F, I'm going to just say next. Wait. Oh, sorry. This is my fault. Can't do switch costume. I'm just going to do next costume. So it's going to change, and that means the color will change a lot. Now, there are other things I can do. So right now, in fact, let's just check this out. And boom, pretty cool. So not bad. Now let me get back to the beginning and when I straight right. Okay, well, that went a little too fast there. Okay, let me just do some more stuff to it. So let's have it turn a little bit. So let's have it turn, I don't know, 25 degrees at a time. So now it's going to do some spinning. Now there are a lot of other cool things in here, such as you could have some crazy things. I could just use this for color, but I've already got color changes. There are other effects that I could change. And not just color, but there's this fisheye, this whirl, this pixelate, all these things, brightness, whatever. If I did this whirl, watch what happens here. Okay, see how it's kind of doing a little whirl? I kind of like that. That might be good. Let's see, I could even do other stuff. Whoops, it's whirling more. Pixelate. Now, this is, oh, I don't like that one. Obviously, this is a little extra here. Let's see, so, oh, let's not change that, but let's say I don't like the pixelate ghost. I don't even know what some of these do, so, oh, it disappears. I don't think I like that one. So in any case, you can mess with these. I don't need to mess with these right now, but there's a lot of different cool ones there. So right now, it should be pretty cool as far as what the egg does, just a little dance, whatever. You could do the same type of stuff with the rabbit. Basically, make him change different costumes or stuff, or make him zip around. So maybe I'll have him change to his kind of looks like he's a flying dude costume, which is that one, and I could have him zip around. This is kind of a cool effect I've seen some people do, which is you have him glide to the end. So it's going to, basically I'm going to have him look like he's zipping across, and he's going to get, now I'm going to drag him really far so you can basically just see his legs there. So he's going to zip to there, and when he gets there, and that'll be 1 second, yeah. When he gets there, I want to, wait a minute, okay. I didn't put the glide in yet, okay. I want him to glide now. I need to put in those numbers because you have to move him first, then you put in the glide, okay. So he's going to glide there, and then I'm going to have him go back to, like he's coming from the other side of the screen. So I'm going to have him go to there, and really you can just have that repeat. So here's my repeat loop, and you can, a 10 should be pretty interesting. So it'll look, let's see how that looks. So kind of cool. I've seen people do this with different backgrounds too, and that can be kind of cool. And you know what? Let me even make it a little more interesting. Right now, he's always going to the same spot. But if I wanted to, the Y coordinate is the up and down thing. So I could totally put in a random number here. So pick random. The Y goes from, I'm trying to think what it is. Let's see. So the Y goes from negative 180 to positive 180. So I'm not going to have him do all that, but I'm going to do negative 150 to a positive 150. And now watch as he zips to different spots. I'm just doing this repeat again. So now sometimes it looks like he's going to go to different spots. Oh, because I put that in the wrong place. Okay. So actually he's starting from different spots. If I put it here, he's going to go to different spots. Didn't want to do that whole thing. Okay, there we go. So now he's going to go to different spots, but he's always going to come from the same spot. So kind of cool. So let's see what we have. Let's see if it's working well. Boom. All right. So what color? Everything looks good. And I will get rid of this hiding spot, but that's kind of my cheater here. Oh, do you notice the rabbit is in the wrong position? So as you probably figured out, so I changed the rabbit's costume, but I did not. So that means at the beginning, my initializing, you've heard that a lot, I need to have switch costume. Now, I did have to change this. I had a little thing when I did the egg issue, but change it to hair A. So that he starts on the right thing. So there was my first debugging. Let's try it. So that did not work there because I put it in the wrong place. So let's put it in the right place at the very beginning, which is there. Let's try it again. Debugging number 2. Okay, there we go. The hair is down there. What color do you want it to be? You get to choose. Oh, I hear the audience saying green. No, I don't, because then we're not going to see it. Just kidding. Yellow. Okay, so we'll say yellow. So it is yellow. Oh, it is turned. Let's remember that. But it's going through. Oh, let's make it bigger here so you can actually see it. Here we go. Boom. It should start moving. Where should I hide? Oh, okay, so that was a little bit too early there. All right, so click on the place you think it is. So I need to put a little delay there. You can find out the issues. Now, I happen to know that it is there because of the cheating thing, but if I click on the wrong one, you should say, nope, try again. Again, wrong one. Okay, now if I do the right one, things hide. You got this. You got the eggs going around there. Now, I think we can make the egg go a little bit longer, but basically you have the right, most everything is right there. So let's correct a few things. One, this isn't really a correction, but let's make this go even longer. Let's make it go 40. Let's see. Now, the egg, again, I have the egg turning here, right there. So what I like to add whenever I have anything turning for my initialization is I like a point in direction. So let's put that right there. So now the egg will start in the right direction. In fact, you can see it there. The egg is starting in the right direction. Then there was the hair, so he didn't wait long enough, so that was right here. Let's change that to, I like to time it pretty well. 9 seconds will probably be pretty good. So I think that should cure our issues, and let's find out. We start it. Let's make it red. All right. It's Easter time. What is Easter? It's a holiday where I hide you. Hide me. That's crazy. You probably don't need me reading this for you. All right. Bam. I could probably make that go a little bit faster there, but in any case, where should I hide? Again, this is all random zipping around. That was pretty good timing. Now, it probably will confuse people where it looked like it went there, but let's see if I actually clicked there. Obviously, the hiding spot says 1, so that should be wrong. This should be wrong. This should be right. All right. Pretty cool little Easter egg game, I think, well, myself. And hopefully you learned a lot of different techniques that we could use. I didn't even include any sounds. Those are always cool, so mess with sounds. But this is just an idea of something that you could do with Scratch and a lot of different things that could be included in Scratch. Mostly, have fun and keep trying stuff.